Ayo, it's 5 rounds, 5 topics a season. Home of the most controversial opinions. Dropping each round on a Friday. If you're about the top trends, then it's our way. So make sure you subscribe. Believe it or not, the vibe is out here. Whereby the peeps can talk with no fear. Hey, what's the name of the podcast right here? What's happening? This the vibe right here. Pandies be the tribe right here. We about to go live right here. If you're talking about the rounds, then it's 5 right here. What's happening? This the vibe right here. Pandies be the tribe right here. We about to go live right here. If you're talking about the rounds, then it's 5 right here. Hey, yo, hit the like button. You know I'll be checking. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to 5 Rounds. I am Wantali. We got Mr. Bushido Brown. How you doing, Mr. Bushido Brown, aka Fact Checker?
What's up? I mean, you're
man. He says, you know, for a fact checker, yeah. Last week we needed your services, but you weren't even here. You know what I'm saying?
Do you actually know? Well, are you in touch with the news? Do you keep up with it?
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay.
With the news, Mr. Fact Checker.
Have you considered that there was a storm this side?
Yes, I know there was a storm that side. Wait a minute, you didn't drop me a text. Just drop me a text.
Next time I will. Next time I will.
When I needed you. Storm, you know. This is what I'm dealing with.
This guy.
Right, guys. If you like laughter, drama, controversy, and all of that madness, that you are on the right channel. It is 5 Rounds Podcast. We're talking about unpopular opinion today. It's a little bit of a spin, but before we get into it, guys, listen. Make sure you like the video. For the guys that are here week on week, like the video, guys. And if you enjoyed this, please, at the end of it, like the video. We're still on 1,633 subscribers. Come on, man. No, sorry. I correct myself. 1,637. So it went up. Sorry. The numbers didn't add up on the old YouTube. But yeah, guys, make sure you like this video and subscribe and hit the notification button because it helps us grow and all of that stuff. That's what we want to do. You know, I'm sure you'd love to see us grow. So it's unpopular opinion today with a bit of a spin. So we usually used to do it like, we'd sort of just give you our unpopular opinions, right? And we go from there. Maybe Bushido Brown, you might have one. I've got one, but I thought I'd take a spin today. Just look at what people's unpopular opinions are. And I found some wild ones, not gonna lie. So we'll probably start with that. And then we can get into what your unpopular opinions are and stuff like that. So it's pretty much just say what you need to say. Obviously, do not offend people. We're not here to offend anybody, but we know there's going to be a few jaw droppers. Trust me. I can see that the chat is late today. I'm early and the chat is late. You know what I'm saying, Bushido Brown? I try my best to get here on time, and these guys are not here. It is very, very shameful. I am very, very ashamed. This is not a good situation. And then now you've got this guy here who is also late.
Did you have to play that song like in the background?
Hey! I need to be dramatic. It needs to be dramatic. People need to know that that they're late. The one time that the chat is late, I need to milk it. My
only explanation is that I went to buy chocolate. That's my only explanation. And I just walked in because I was craving. So,
Good evening, Gunjan. Gunjan says good evening. Yeah, Mr. Panda, you succumbed to your cravings.
I did. That's also unpopular opinion. I love chocolate.
You like what? You like what? Sorry.
That's unpopular opinion. I love chocolate. I love a chocolate.
Pause. Pause. Okay, so unpopular opinion. I'm sure this is going to be Drew's favorite topic because the man loves an unpopular opinion. But
Oh
for the
my
sake, for Drew's sake, we're going to look at some of the crazy unpopular opinions out there. So I sort of went on TikTok and just looked at, who said what, and I looked at one and I thought, "Oh, let's bring this into the chat and see what you guys think because yo people have some crazy unpopular opinions out there. I'll tell you that now.
Is
We're gonna.
Bushido Brown with us today?
He
Yes, I'm
is.
literally right
He
here.
is, he is here.
Why are you so silent? Why are
What
you
do you
so
mean?
quiet?
Because I don't talk over people. That's not how conversations work.
Since
Oh my
when did you
god.
become this polite?
Oh my
What
God.
have you?
It's
I'm not getting into this. I am not getting into this. You guys can fight it out. Fight, 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 fight,
no.
fight, fight. What? I thought you were gonna fight.
I said
Okay.
no.
Okay. All right. Cool. Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Bang. Here we go.
These are my unpopular opinions. Look at my hair looking like Jackson 5. Number one, respect your elders. No, not me. My family's from Nigeria. So it's known from birth, you respect your elders. I don't believe that no more because I respect everyone until someone disrespects me. I don't know about you, but I've met some nasty, old, racist, yellow teeth, black gums, outdated, opinionated elders who do not deserve respect at all. You've been on this earth for multiple generations. Your time is ticking. Yet you decide to still be a nasty old cow. I walked past an elderly couple the other day and all I heard was, oh, the blacks. I said, wait a minute. I said, excuse me, what? And someone out there is going to try and tell me, but you have to respect them because they're elderly. 2 plus 2 equals 15. The maths is not mathing. Respect your elders. I respect everybody until someone gives me a reason not to be respected. That's number one. Number two,
Do you want us to get into this one, or do you want to hear the next one?
Let's hear the next one. Let's hear the
Yeah,
next one,
yeah.
baby.
Let's hear the next one.
family's more important than friends. Oh, leave it out. Shut up. That's number one. Number two, family's more important than friends. Oh, leave it out. Shut up. Shut up. That's how it should be. But it's not always the case and it's not always true. All this giving your family extra leeway because it's your family. Blood is thicker than water. Okay, but blood clots. Blood clots. Just because we're blood relatives, just because we share the same bloodline, doesn't mean I have to love you. Yes, family is very important. Give them a little bit of leeway, but then don't try and come and take the mic. Is my name Mickey Mouse? Number three, my kids will be spoiled. I don't know about you, but my kids will. Don't spoil your kids. Don't let them be born with a silver spoon in your... Listen, there's no silver spoons here. I'm going to give them platinum, gold, diamonds, emeralds.
All right, all right, all right, all right. The most important ones are the first two. Then he just goes off on a tangent.
Yeah.
So the first one about the elders. How do you guys feel about that one? Should we just respect our elders no matter what? Do you agree with him? You say, hey, I'll respect you until you disrespect me. Then but I thought like he started the disrespect first before he got disrespected. You know what I mean? Whether was the name calling necessary, yellow teeth and whatnot. The first one is pure facts. Anna, it's facts. Okay. Okay. Mr. Drew, what do you think?
I was just gonna say these second generation, third generation immigrants, they have lost sense of who they are. Let's just be
Oh.
fair and honest. Like it's all coming from lack of identity. I mean, where you come from, where I come from, obviously you and I, we guys here, we are like first generation, maybe we would say.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even first generation immigrants, are we?
No.
No,
No.
we are the immigrant itself.
We're the OGs.
Yeah, technically
We're
the
the
OGs, yeah.
OGs,
Mm.
right? No, but if you look at all this, like first generation, second generation, third generation, like there's a good sense of lack of identity, and now they're just trying to create their own sort of understanding of who they are and what they think they know. Radical perspective, if you put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I disagree. All,
Oh.
all the people need to be respected. Japan, for example, do you know that Japanese people have this high respect of older people? And look at their culture. Look at that beautiful culture.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how far they go. And I mean, for me, it's just no. I respect my elders. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Anna says, Anna,
Whether they're being an asshole or whatever, I'll politely tell them that you are being an asshole, but I still have respect for you.
so you would tell your elder that they're being an asshole. That's what you would do.
Politely. I wouldn't put it in like in a direct form like you're being an asshole. I would say like something along the lines like maybe what you just said now. It's disrespectful to me or it's hurtful to me in that sense.
Wow.
But I wouldn't call an elder person like that you're an asshole or it- listen. I must take time to say this. I see this all the time, not just here, but in Europe in general. And I don't know about US because I've never been there, but Europe in general, you see like an older person trying to get on the bus, younger person comes there and jumps into the bus right away. Older person stands up in the bus. Younger person sits there in the headphones and not even paying attention. I'm like, hello, manners.
Mm.
Like what the hell? Like manners. She's 65 years old. She's standing. Give her a seat to sit down. Give him a seat to sit down. And you're 18. You're 19. You can stand. You can stand
Okay.
for a longer distance. So who cares? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What
So
about
sorry.
the?
I don't agree with this guy. He looks hot with that pillow thing that he has around him, but but I don't agree to the shit he's saying. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Look. What if? Okay, so you know that you described the bus situation, right?
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
so then what about the elders that feel entitled to move you off your seat or sort of say, I'm the important, because we see this sometimes, where they say, I'm the important one, I should be in front
Yeah.
of you. Is
Yeah.
that right? I'm the
No, that's not
important
right.
one, I should be the priority. So how do you deal with that? You know what I
No,
mean?
that's not right. That's a
Mm.
different story. I mean,
Oh,
Mm.
it's a different story.
those elders are pretty much the ones who haven't how can I say who haven't got the respect they deserve, or they haven't um uh, they feel like they're inferior somehow in the society. There are some elders who haven't achieved things in the society and they demand to be respected. That's a different story. I don't respect such elders in a sense. I mean, I wouldn't call them assholes. I wouldn't go to the point of calling them assholes, but
Hmm.
I would maybe speak to them about it and say like, you earn respect. You don't demand respect.
All right, cool. So the guys in the chat, before I get to you, Mr. Bushido Brown, which
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to have your take on this.
Yeah.
The guys in the chat here, we go Anna saying just so she said the first one is pure facts. So the whole thing about the elders thing, pure facts. Respect goes both ways, she says. And then she goes on to say, look, just because you're older doesn't mean you can be disrespectful and expect respect. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gunjan also said something at some point. He said the elder in the video, he is pointing out his parents. Okay, you know something about outing your parents, Gunjan, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Because this guy. And some
Are
people
these are
regard.
these are these Gen Zs or Gen Alphas? What are they? Are they like,
I don't know. Why are we putting labels on generations, man?
no,
Uh,
because they have put the labels by themselves. The Gen Zs, and the Alphas. What's next? It's gonna be better, maybe, or meta. I don't know.
I don't know. Generation AI. Anna
Wow.
says some people, regardless of age, need to be told that they're behaving like you saw it, behaving like a-holes. Right. Mr. Bushido Brown, how do you feel about this?
Um. So the issue is, I just don't understand why the thing people like lead with is the worst possible scenario for it. Like
Mm-mm.
what he said, like the guy in the video, like describe the person as somebody who's basically angry, and obviously, like respect goes both ways, yes. But in this sense, it's like it's, when you say respect your elders, it's showing them grace for just being as old as they are, and that is not a bad thing at all. Like,
Mm.
No.
yeah, if they, what do you call it? It's, for example, if a baby was, what do you call it, disrespectful to you, would you just
Mm.
be like, ah, it goes both way? No, you're gonna like give like
A bit
you're
of
going
leeway.
to give you're gonna understand that there are different rules for different type of people. So if someone is a bit older and crankier, just, I guess, show them their grace. If you don't like it and you want to tell them that, hey, you're being rude, I don't like this, do it because they're older and they should understand, but get out of that
Right.
situation. But for example, like, that's a situation that he was, for example, in. But for example, like all the older people I have
Mm.
like met and stuff like that, a lot more of them have been like, I could easily give them the grace because it's like they just deserve that grace.
Mm.
Mm.
And even, what do you call it, back home, it's like you would know, like for example, I'm a fat guy, so you know all the aunties and stuff, what do you call it, would tease you and stuff like that. And
Hey.
then you, how
Right.
you would find that a bit disrespectful at times, but then at that same time it's like you just kind of understand, like sometimes that's going to happen, and there
Yeah.
is a reason to show older people respect and grace. And yes, you can, like, you'd want to reciprocate, but then sometimes you just have to, I guess, be the bigger person, or just come out, say your piece, and then leave. That would be like the best for both of them. So the way he's saying it as if no older person deserves respect unless they give it to you. No, if you like see a random older person, like the bus example, they need a seat and stuff like that, I'll just give it to them. Like, or
Yeah.
I'll help them off the seat, help them off the bus, help them carry some things if they're struggling, literally help
Mm.
them cross the road. That's kind of like
Mm.
Wow.
what being a good natured person is. So I don't see the point in going to the worst case scenario, because the worst case scenario is not an everyday thing.
Ha.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Can I add something to it? Because
Yes, of
it's
course.
some very important things right here. It's
Mm,
like this reason why I don't understand about the new generation is like, how do you think this society is built? Was built? You know,
mm,
where did the buildings you're living in came from? It came from the older generation.
Hmm.
Where does the system that you're living in that's providing for you came from? It came from the older generation. Now all you need to do is give that to give back is to show at least some respect. And when they say when the young generation goes to say like, oh, I don't care, who are you to that I should give you respect? I'm like, hello, you're here in it. Where did you come from?
mm,
Where did you come from? You're here. Where did you come from?
Oh my
Uh,
god.
yeah, I'm a basketball teacher. I'm teaching basketball to young people. Yeah. Um. So I find that the youngest the students that have more discipline and respect the nature of having a coach that's showing you what to do, they progress faster than the ones who feel like, oh, I can watch YouTube and I know what I'm
mm,
doing. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing and I got this under control. And yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. I mean, I like the fact that Anna's got the other side of the coin. She says, "Look, I don't think." Yeah, she says, "I don't think he's saying that you should go around and disrespect older people, but some of them are disrespectful because they're older and believe you should respect them regardless." And this is what I was trying to say. Some of them will say, "No, I'm an elder and
Ah,
I can get away
yes,
with
but again, you
whatever."
just said some of them. Some of them is not always the
Yeah.
experience. But
Okay.
if you happen to be in that situation, yeah, it's understandable why you'd be like disrespected. But
mm.
the exception is not the rule.
Wow. Okay.
Plus, if you saw what he did, he just started like flinging insults. And what's the
Yeah.
point? Like,
Proper.
literally,
Yeah.
like the moment you get to that, do you think you're
It's
being respectful?
we can't listen.
I
Yeah.
Do you think either
I
of you
don't know.
deserve
I don't know
respect?
what this young man is going through, but he probably has some daddy issues.
Uh,
Um, usually, if that's the case, then they won't have respect for it.
Hmm,
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It starts from
mm,
home. Charity
mm,
hmm,
begins from home. If
hmm,
you have daddy issues, the way you discipline you discipline in front of other people is also going to be messed up.
all right. Okay. Fair.
hmm.
Mm.
Fair. I agree. I agree. Hey. But Anna is telling you that, hey, if you don't get respect, you shouldn't just respect. That's what she's saying.
which,
I mean,
which is true, which is true. But then
I
again,
mean,
I don't think
okay,
it
let's think
comes
of
down
this.
to
How
daddy
often does
issues.
an old okay? Think of this. How often does what you call it an old person just disrespect you? Just think about
It's
that.
not often. It's
not
not often.
often.
That's what I
It's not
mean.
often.
I like it's
Yeah.
something that's not often. If it happens, it's a shame. Get out of that situation.
Yeah. It's
What are
not.
you gonna do?
Yeah.
Fight an old person? You kill them, you go to jail. You shout at them, they get a heart attack, you go to jail.
Uh, uh,
Exactly.
Jesus is Lord.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Nah. Fair point. Fair point. Wow.
And
Honestly.
sometimes you just gotta let them be who they are. You know what I mean? You don't
Mm.
understand the traumas they're going through. You just have to let them. Have you guys seen um uh what's that something funeral
Death at a
Death
with
at a
funeral.
funeral.
Chris Rock?
Death at a funeral.
Death at a funeral.
Death at a
That's funny.
funeral.
Sick
Do you
movie.
remember that Da- Danny is
Danny
a
Glover.
stupid idiot.
Danny Glover. But that was a remake. It was a remake of, like, there was an original one, and then they made that version basically.
Yeah, I think I
Mm.
enjoyed the remake better
Yeah,
because
yeah, it was
yeah,
good. It was good. It had a
that
good
was that
cast.
was just that was just really good run. Yeah,
Mm.
so he was playing this old guy who's just like he doesn't care. He's aggressive. He's angry.
Mm. He was
He's like this.
entitled.
Yeah, and he to the point that he shot on this guy's hat while he was trying to help him to release himself.
Lord
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh. Yeah.
You do realize you're live
To
on
me,
YouTube,
to me,
right?
that was just
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
me that was just a description of an old man. Like, what do? You can't. It's nothing you can do.
Uh
You know.
okay. Wantali, what is the other one he said?
We're moving on. The family one now. I think the guy said it was more around, like, just because we're blood doesn't mean we're family, sort of
Oh
thing. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
So
I can
it
agree
was
with that.
something along those lines. So I think we can agree. I used to feel like, because we're blood, we're family, but I think we can agree that,
I
just because
think
you're
yeah,
blood
I think this
doesn't
is
make you
an
Yeah.
family.
yeah,
The
I think this is
oblige.
universal. We all agree that it's
But I think if you look into your families, whatever it is, when they add you in a WhatsApp group, they expect you to stay there. When the thing, I'm not lying.
okay, no, that is true. That is
When
true.
there are
So that,
things that they are, so we are here
I
agreeing. But when
I
there are
used
things
to
that need
think
to be
no,
done.
that is true.
I
Mhm.
used to think this was only a Malawian thing, but I've got like friends from Sudan, Nigeria,
Hmm.
and they all tell me the same story. Like, those relatives when they add you on WhatsApp, I'm like, oh, it happens to you too? Like, yeah.
Zero
well,
contribution.
What WhatsApp
well,
needs to come up with, like, a accept decline sort of situation, because we can't just be getting added to groups and then having to leave. It's not right. But
Oh, why did you
yeah.
leave?
yeah, exactly. You get those messages, but
Do
but
you
also
hate your
there's this sudden assumption that once you're in that group, you now have to contribute to whatever the responsibilities of the group are. Like, you've signed, automatically getting added there. You have signed a disclaimer that you are family.
Mhm.
You have responsibilities, and it's as important to you as the person that's added you in the group.
Mhm.
you know,
I'm laughing because this is super. How can it's like satire,
relatable.
it's relatable.
Yeah,
When they're
honestly.
adding you, Wantali, they know exactly your status and where you are.
Yeah.
Which part of the continent you're located. They know that, so it's a tactic. It's a plan to say we need to have him here. He needs to be a board member. He needs to be.
We need the money. We don't need the opinion. We don't need the opinion. We don't need the disrespect. We just need the money. That's what we need. But yeah, so I think I agree with that second part. I say that just because of blood, we're not family. So, and also, can we, I don't know, whoever's watching, if you're an admin of a family group, whatever it is, I know it's hard to ask 100 people for permission, but don't expect 100 people to contribute. Do you know what I mean? maybe 10 will contribute. Because gotta understand, also being in diaspora and all these things, and then let's say your home country somewhere else, the ties to that country are different compared to somebody who
Mm.
was born and raised in wherever they were raised, normally the village. They'll say, oh yeah, we were raised here, so we're preserving it, whatever it is, and then you got to do the same thing. But to be honest with you, if you as a parent do not show your child at an early stage how important this village is, then and expect
Mm.
them to now behave in a certain way, that
Mm.
ain't gonna happen.
Mm.
Mm.
That ain't gonna happen. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm sorry for my first word people if if you're getting confused. Village, what? House? Who? Obviously here they leave you with their houses and stuff. So it's kind of singular, but yeah, where we come from, we have extended families. And you're
Plenty.
expected to help your extended family. It's not just your mom, your dad, your
Plenty.
brother, sister, whatever. It's your mom, dad, brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, everybody. Everybody need help. You gotta help them.
But
So that's how it is.
but I also want to say one thing. Like I guess it all depends with the family dynamics as well. Like where
Mm,
you come from. What are the family dynamics and where you come from? I was at this Nigerian wedding like 2 years ago maybe,
mm,
and my friend took me there. He's a Nigerian guy. He took me there. There was like about 500 people that just came from the UK, from France, from America. They came for this wedding, right? And he's just like, I know they're my relatives, but I haven't seen them before, and, and they're here. And I remember the speech of one of the dads who was like he had to make a speech, and he said something about like, we the Nigerians, we are like Italians, we have to get together. And I just saw that and I was like, wow, 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 like wow. I swear at that wedding there was like 500 people there from
Mm.
all over, from all over. They just like came together, and this is like cousins, you know, yeah,
yeah.
distant cousin. As long as they're like diaspora, they have to come to the wedding.
500.
Hell no. Hell
That
no,
is.
no, no. Hell no. Hell no.
Sorry, not 500. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Yeah,
Guys in the chat, please let us know what your unpopular opinions are. Mr. Drew, have you got an unpopular opinion? Oh,
I might have one.
all right.
I don't know. Like just random, anything random.
Uh,
I don't know something that's burning. I've got one, but I want to give you guys a
Okay,
chance first.
let me say one just randomly. Nine to
Mhm.
five, like 9 to 5 jobs or schedule. It doesn't work anymore these days. It's
yeah.
outdated and it's not effective.
And to be fair, he's like some of
Nine
these
to
other
five.
countries are doing like less and less hours and stuff like that for like less days. Like
Right,
like they're doing 4 3 day working weeks and stuff like that, and the production is at a similar level. So I do get where he's coming from.
right,
Okay.
right.
I guess some services can obviously might need to be like 9 to 5, but a lot of them are also kind of like just more of a
But
luxury thing, and those luxury things are.
Mm.
but
Mm,
okay, I understand what you guys are saying, right? But think of a post office. Can a post office change from 9 to 5 to flexible hours?
Yeah, it
Why?
can.
How? And why would they?
Um, because also like certain posts like now. I used to work in post as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I've, I've done post delivery, and certain posts right now, it's also designed that you have to deliver the package when someone's at home. And for me, I was delivering bigger packages where people are at home from like 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, between those hours. So it means I couldn't work in the morning, for instance.
mm,
So I
Okay.
was given the option to choose which shift I can take, and then yeah.
Maybe let me elaborate a bit. I mean, the post
Mm,
office itself, not you as the delivery guy, but the post office itself.
yeah.
So when you're going to whatever services people get from the post office, say they want to post something, whatever it is, can you work
Mm.
outside of the 9 to 5 frame for the post office?
It depends, depending on technology. We haven't reached that technology
Well,
yet.
then in this case, it's not applicable for the post office. Then.
Yeah, I guess some other jobs is not
Hmm.
applicable, but
Yeah, that's
uh,
why I said like like essential ones you
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
really.
probably yeah. That's what I was
yeah,
thinking as well. So
like a
services,
hospital.
services. I think
Yeah.
you'd have to stick to those hours because again, trading and banking, like Gunjan just said, banking and admin should be 9 to 5. They do have after hours, counting the collection and the ATM service. I mean, it should be possible, but I think it just depends on trading. If trading is open, then
Yeah.
most services are open. If trading changes hours, then those services will change hours. I think that's the way it works. I think it's money that dictates what hours
Yeah.
you work. To be honest with
And
you.
and also like ATM is more like now like let's say Africa and other countries like uh Europe, ATMs is kind of fading. Like
Yeah,
nobody goes to an ATM machine now unless you're like want to buy some
yeah, unless you
illegal
really
substance at
not
2
even
a.m.
that,
You know what I
unless
mean?
like some unless there's some services that like some bus services still do need cash. I know that most of them are like changing to card, but then there are some things that like cash is just
Mm.
more preferred. But then they are being like becoming like far and in between.
Few and far between. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed. I mean, I haven't really noticed that the ATMs are reducing, but I have noticed that
Mm.
banks are reducing staff basically. So
Right.
you see more machines than staff in banks as
Mm.
well as much as you see in
Yeah.
shops, um, or supermarkets and stuff like that.
Mm.
So yeah, okay. Guys in the chat, do you think Drew is do you agree with Drew about the 9 to 5 thing? Maybe we should have a look at this 95 framework to see if it works. I don't agree, but
I
uh,
mean, let's just put it this way. Considering the work I'm doing now, like I decide what time I want to start my work and what time I finish my work and what time I deliver. I've been given a time frame, obviously. Like, okay, we want you to develop this idea into something. Can you
mm,
structure this idea into something? And I'll say, okay,
mm,
I'll need 3 months. Then within that 3 months, I know that okay, I can maybe um, procrastinate for 2 weeks and then start working, but I'll still make it happen. So I don't have to stress about, oh, I need to wake up at 9 a.m. and go to work and trying to figure out something. I've got my own creative freedom. You know what I mean? So I think creative freedom is allowing a lot of people to actually be productive than having them sit at work for like 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
mm. Okay, fair. Mr. Gunjan says petrol pumps need cash. I don't know what country that is, but
In India or something.
yeah, maybe in India. Um, even in Malawi, you can fuel up without cash. Even in Africa, you can fuel up
Hmm.
without cash. So it's not necessarily accurate, sir. Not necessarily accurate. Mr. Bushido Brown, have you got a unpopular opinion?
Um.
Bring your
Okay,
opinion.
so um, I've you know how there's been that the rise of comic book movies and stuff like that, right?
What movies?
Yeah,
Yes,
comic
What?
movies.
the comic book movies, the
Oh, yeah,
MCU,
yeah,
DC's
yeah.
coming back.
Mm,
Oh no, here we
mm.
go. Here we go.
The best way to portray these things are through animation. That's my unpopular opinion. I know people love their live action
Wow.
things. I know they love their like castings and stuff like that. But unpopular, I think Spider Verse was such a breath of fresh air and just showed like yeah, like MCU was good, but
Wow.
when you start watching the other like for example DC movies, you start to realize you can get away
Dixie's?
with
Nah,
no
nah, nah.
as in animated
Oh,
things. If you start watching the DC animated stuff, you start to realize okay, yeah, this is real. Again, I'm using or even the Transformers. Even though I love Michael Bay's Transformers, like guilty pleasure.
Mm.
The Transformers one that came out last year, which was like an animated movie,
yeah,
was
yeah.
really good because it basically it expands on like imagination and stuff. You can act because special effects and are expensive and stuff like that. And it's because it's literally because of like greed. They they want to make so much money back. And if you've noticed, a lot more live action things are flopping. Like Disney,
Yeah.
they're just doing live action things.
Yeah.
And
I
the
mean,
best of Disney is animated.
Right.
Mm.
I mean, look, with Transformers though, this whole Michael Bay thing definitely watched it as a guilty pleasure because
It's
the writers I recently watched some of them because I didn't even know they made up to like five or something like that. You know what I mean?
same.
I was like, what
Yeah,
the
exactly.
hell? And I watched some of them. Honestly, the writers, somebody needs to slap I think the writers were filling some of these parts. Do you know how many times the Optimus Prime would go for I am Optimus Prime? I was like,
Exactly.
is this necessary?
It's
Like,
for the people. It's
like,
for the people.
like,
Actually, think
eh?
of it like this. Look where Fast and Furious is right now. Tell me that is not. It shouldn't just be an animated thing with all the ridiculous things that they're doing.
Oh, don't even get me started with Fast and
Yeah,
Furious.
I mean,
it's
I mean, since you started, since you
Where are they
started talking
going?
about, since you started talking about the movies right now, do you guys know? And this is also unpopular opinion. Do you guys know that most of these Marvel movies are based on African mythology?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The likes
I've
of
seen.
Boomba, who is it, Ula, or is it Ola? Each
Mm.
one of them, those are African mythology. And I thought about it the other day. I was like, oh my good lord, what is going on here?
Well, there's no surprise there, is it? There's no surprise.
Yeah,
This is why we see diamonds in European countries that are African. You know, we see all these minerals. They wouldn't think that something else wasn't pillaged. They probably went,
Mm.
okay, we've got everything that's physical. What else have you got? Oh, there's boom. Who? Come here.
Mm.
What did he do? Okay, write that down. Pretty much. Pretty
I mean,
much.
it's like the situation with the artifacts that are in the museums. Like they're
Oh, those are
refusing
hilarious.
to
It's
bring them
hilarious.
back to Africa. They're saying that we own these things now. Like, how do you own them? They're like they belong to Africa. Take them
Mm.
back. Like,
All the best with that. They might want to check the returns policy. You know what I mean?
Actually, before you go for another one, I there is
again,
no good. Oh yeah, no, this is
should I go
that.
and steal the queen's jewelry and claim that it belongs to Malawi,
Oh no,
and I'll keep it.
it's the king's jewelry now.
Mm.
King's jewelry.
Yeah, oh, it's the king's now. Yeah, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting that. Wow,
Yeah,
that's how
it's
unpopular
been
he
about
is. I
it's
should
been
say.
about for so long, guys. If you're enjoying this, man, hit the like button, man. Come on, hit the like button. Let's go. Let's go. You want me to
Gunja said something.
what did Gunjan say now? It was
Let me check.
my unpopular opinion. He says my unpopular opinion will be study at university or study online. Give us some context, please, sir. Yes, true.
Possibly that you don't have to go to university face to face as much.
Okay.
Mm,
That's my interpretation of it, because that
yep,
has become
right.
a thing. That thing, like just basically remote work has become a thing.
Give
Yep.
us some
Yep.
give us some context, Mister Gunjan. Nearly called him Bushido Brown. Anyway, Mister Bushido Brown, let's get to you then. Your unpopular opinion.
My
What we
other
saying?
one.
Well, you said you were going to say something.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, um, at this point, I don't think there's any. Realistically, there might not be any actual good celebrity. Okay, let me tell you. Let me tell you what I've been seeing. No, because it personally hurts me as well, because like I'm a fan of a lot of like these rich and famous people, but at the same time, you start to see that the times that they decide to go quiet about certain political issues is kind of it starts
Oh,
to get weird. It starts to like
Right.
you start to think like, yeah, okay, maybe no good is what do you call it, overstatement, but the amount of celebrities that people have this parasocial relationship with are worse than they
Right.
actually will admit. For example,
That's true.
I know I'm known to say stuff like this, but for example, Beyonce,
Okay.
Beyonce is one, like Beyonce. Like I'm putting her on that same thing as like Taylor Swift, where it's like they occasionally use certain things for this. They use certain movements to push themselves up a bit, but then they go quiet when things start to get serious, like or like Snoop Dogg. You know, I love Uncle Snoop, but then
Uncle Snoop.
him going to like Trump's thing, you're like, huh?
But this, you see, so even
Right,
so, even
right.
You
soldier,
start to
even
question
Soldier
it.
Boy,
Yeah,
apparently.
you start to question like, what is like, is there really a good rich person?
Somebody said something. Who said it? There's somebody who said, was it who was it? Omari Harik, I think it was. He or whatever that guy from Power. He said, or
Mm,
he commented on this.
Right.
He said, look, right. Um, he said it's better to have a seat at the table than to become the menu. Basically,
mm,
Right.
that's what he
Right.
said. You know,
Right.
because he said if the tide is shifting this way, that's what he was saying. If the tide is shifting this way, you got to find a way to put yourself somewhere. You know what I mean?
mm.
It doesn't mean you change your values, but you got to find a way. I don't know. I don't know if that's what he was trying to
Yeah, but
say, but it's
at the
like,
same time, have you seen the seat at the table? Have you seen which table you're sitting at? Have you seen all the people you're
Mm,
eating with?
mm.
I'm gonna be
Can't
honest
I
with
just
you.
be.
like, I like.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's sort of similar to football. Like I see this all the time in football, right?
Mm,
With these football players, when say for example a team loses, for the biggest example is
Mm,
Marcus Rashford because he's the most one of the most talked about people, right?
hmm
So Marcus Rashford, United lose a game today. Tomorrow he's courtside at a basketball game, right? You know, so and
mm,
he's there with another player. Rashford got targeted the most because he's the popular one. The other player didn't really get targeted. You know what I mean? And also,
mm,
he earns a
mm,
lot. He earns a lot. They both earn a lot of money, but
mm,
Rashford got targeted.
mm,
A lot of fans were like, "I can't believe he did this. If it was me, I would do A, B, C, D." Here's the fact of the matter: he ain't you. Those celebrities, they ain't you. Like
hmm
I think when we look at these celebrities, we try to see ourselves in them. You know what I mean? Those people have
mm,
different problems to what we have. I think, and also they tend to be a little bit more selfish. You know, just a little bit concerned about
mm.
saving their own face. You know what I mean? So,
I like that we're talking about this now. You guys, what's his name? This guy, Jason Bourne, actor. What's his name?
Matt
Matt
Damon.
Matt
Yeah, Damon.
Damon.
Yeah.
Do you know why he's not in so many movies now, or since the time he started doing this human rights activism thing?
Mm,
It's because he's questioning the table.
yeah. You
Well,
see, actually, you start to see like a lot. Look what happened. I can't believe I'm using this. Look what's happened with Cat Williams. Did you see how he was like blackballed from so many things the moment he said things were going to happen? And have
yeah,
you seen how many things he kind of predicted
yeah,
would
yeah. No,
happen?
and this is
He called them out. He's what do you call it? You start to see maybe like remember when Orlando Brown, that's so Raven, the dude, people
yeah.
were saying
When he
he's
started,
crazy and stuff like that. And he started like
yeah,
calling people
yeah,
out and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
The
Yep.
Drake and Josh situation, was it Drake said something but Josh was like again like pushed back. He started to and he like went against
They phased him
Nickelodeon,
out.
got the
Yeah,
face
Mm,
they start to phase people out.
yeah,
mm,
yeah. Isn't he
mm,
the one who called out how they were mistreating the actors at Nickelodeon or
And
something?
the thing is, because he's no longer people's favorite, that's it.
right.
They won't listen to him.
Yeah, there is that, and so a lot of people will sort of think about themselves before they think about everybody else. You know what I
Mm,
mean? For
Mm,
them to do these things, they will think about themselves. I mean, look, even where we are now, right? I remember last week Drew was talking about what's going on in Congo.
mm,
Because I'm here, I
mm,
can't see it. It's like in America, they can't see what's going on anywhere. Like they see most of because their media is so controlled that they only see what's going on in America, right? Probably
right.
similar for Russia as well.
mm,
So sometimes when you're in a circle for so long, you forget to
Mm,
notice all these other things. And also, when
mm,
by the time it hits you, you're like, "Well, I'm over here and they're over there. That's not my problem." Do you know what I mean? It's the
mm,
same with
right.
celebrities. They'll be like, "Well, I'm a celebrity. They're not. That's not my problem." The only time you saw celebrities going on about something or a disaster, the fires, the LA fires, because where it's happening in their backyard. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So now they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my gosh, this is so devastating." Wah, 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 wah. But when do you hear celebrities say that about her? Okay, maybe Hurricane Katrina was a little bit with
Okay,
massive things.
yeah.
But there are all these other things that happen. People could get behind these school shootings as well, and all these things. You could get behind that because they make these songs, "Heal the World," blah blah blah. But there are people kids shooting other kids in schools. You know what I mean? I ain't never heard a song about that. You know what I mean?
No.
Lupe Fiasco's made a song like that
Yeah,
once. He's made one song
yeah,
about it.
Little Weapon, and that was it.
Exactly. So you got to
But
sort of. I don't. For me, I'm not really. I don't get annoyed with these celebrities. If you've watched The Last Dance, The Last Dance, when Michael Jordan was being asked to sort of align himself to the black movement and all of that, and he was saying, "Well, I'm playing basketball right now. This is my concern." This should just tell you exactly how people think, like exactly how celebrities think, because Michael Jordan could have made an impact by just saying one thing, but he was like, "Yo, I'm focusing on my future," and this is what people
Literally,
think,
that's again,
you know.
I need to make my money.
Beyonce fans. Yo, your queen bee doesn't like your what do you call it? Your beehive will be attacking people. All you have to do is like say one thing, and she won't. Did she even? I'm not even joking. I don't even remember seeing her like, oh, vote for. Come on.
Did she
But
didn't say that?
I don't know. That's the thing. That's how much I don't know because I like just don't like my knowledge of celebrity things is like on
Kamala. Her name's
yeah.
Kamala.
Also for you people who are mostly on TikTok, when it was getting banned, did you see what your favorites did? Like, let me just admit the lies I was doing, and look at them still getting the same followers.
Well,
Y'all are serious.
we got no sympathy for TikTok. I've got no sympathy for TikTok, but I need to bring it. Go on, sorry. Go on, Mr.
And I'm starting to lose trust in the mainstream media. Not like I had trust, but I'm starting to even just
It's
I'm
blatant.
thinking
It's just more
mainstream.
blatant. It's like
It is. And look at how we just spoke about Congo. Look at how Congo is portrayed now in the mainstream media. It's being portrayed as Africans are barbarians. They're butchering each
that
other.
is something that's really pushed like that. Like any country that isn't like a Western country is uncivilized.
Right.
The use of
And look at the
subhuman,
situation
and stuff.
in Gaza. Yes, it escalated where the whole world was starting to speak about it, but none of the mainstream media had the message that Israel is causing a genocide. No,
Oh no,
there's none of that.
that's not what they were
But
saying.
right now, there is a genocide word in the mainstream media in Congo.
Wow.
It is very interesting to watch, isn't it? It's like,
wow, right. I need to shift you back to this unpopular opinion. All right,
Yes,
I need to do
yes.
that. I need to do that now.
Do your thing.
My unpopular opinion is modern marriage is overrated. That is my unpopular opinion. I think modern
Elaborate.
marriage right now is overrated. I think it's more of a step, an achievement, than it is a commitment. Right? Based on what I see, it looks that way. Are people getting married still for the right reasons? That's my first question, because the number of times you go to a wedding and then 2, 3, 4 months later, oh, separated, oh, they're living separately. I'm not saying they're divorced, but they're living separately. I've sort of got something to back this up. The marriage rate has gone down. Yeah, but surprisingly, the divorce rate has also gone down. You know what I mean? So is it because people are not getting married anymore, or not getting married that much, or is it that people are just staying in marriages that they shouldn't be in? You know what I mean? I just feel like, one, it's an expensive exercise, first of all, because for that one day, you're gonna spend probably what you make in a year plus. For that one day, and then literally one day, and then it takes 3 months for all of it to come undone. That doesn't make sense to me. Secondly, you invest in whatever it is you invest in. So I'm talking about a first world issue here. You invest in these things together, right? Then you split, and your wife goes with everything, or maybe more than everything, because she's got the kids or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Now you're spending this lengthy time dividing these things. You're paying for lawyers and all this, gobbly stuff. But the way marriage is still advertised, it's almost like it's a happy ending. It's a Disney. This is the best. I'm here to say marriage is not for everybody. I'm not saying it's not for me, but whatever. I'm not married myself, so I'm not being bitter. But marriage is not for everybody. I'm going to look into this camera right here. Marriage is not for everybody. So people should stop jamming it down people's throats. To be honest with you, yeah. I think it is overrated. Thoughts?
Well, it's true. It's not for everybody. It's
Okay.
true. It's not for everybody, and it is a waste of money if all you have to do is like divorce after 2 years or 3 years or even 6 months or even on your honeymoon. People have done that when they, when they spend like thousands of dollars, and then on the honeymoon, he finds out that she's not the one. She finds out that oh, he's not the one, and then it
It's
simply
yeah.
shambles.
It's
But to some people it works because they have one goal. They all have a common goal in the beginning, and to some people, whether you believe it or not, it's an agreement. It's a financial agreement.
uh-huh.
It's a financial agreement that what we're doing right now is we're starting a business, a business where we're gonna make kids and we're gonna
Mm,
take care of them, but we're gonna
mm,
grow a business. It's a financial
mm,
agreement.
mm.
And I've met some other marriages as well
Yeah.
who are like very interesting when it comes to like if some needs are not met within the marriage, they also sign an agreement to say like, oh, you can have a relationship outside and I can know about it, swingers, and and still our agreement is still going on. It's
You
the
get it.
thing, and
If you don't get it, forget about it.
Uh, oh my
yeah,
god, that's crazy.
it's a crazy world we live in. It's a
That is
crazy world we
great.
live in.
That is crazy. Gunjan says I'm running 29 and I'm never getting married. Wow, that's strong, Gunjan. What if you meet the love of your life tomorrow, or on this stream, or in the in the chat? Because you tend to propose to the love of your life on the chat. I don't plan to get married in 5 years. I can't think about modern marriage. Fair enough, man. I'm just saying, like, based on what I'm seeing, it's like there's a lot of yeah. I think it's becoming more and more materialistic. It's like I need to secure my future. So is this really what we're doing? Are we securing the bag?
Secure the bag.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Mr.
Have you
Bushido,
have you seen that guy in America who married five sisters?
I
What?
saw the guy who married the Siamese twins. I
Yeah,
saw that one.
he,
What?
he's like one of these church guys. He married
Oh,
he
okay.
married five siblings, like their sisters, and he married all of them, and
That's a
and they're
cult.
happy together.
That's a
And
cult.
they're like, you know what? You know what's cool about this is like my sister can take care of my children if I want to go out. My sister has a chance to take care of my children, and they're all like together. You know what I mean? It's like we're
I
like
mean,
one family.
that guy, yeah, that guy can sing Craig David's 7 Days, right? But we'll be singing about 5 different women in that one song. You know what
Wow.
Perfect.
I'm saying? Oh man.
He
Uh
can hold the note. He can hold the note. And then
he could have a choir.
I,
He could have a
I
choir.
saw this interview as well in South Africa. People are still like, uh, occupied by, getting married to like having many wives.
Yeah.
It's a tradition in South Africa, Lesotho, and all those areas. It's a tradition. So this guy was being interviewed to say, "Well, how old are you now?" I'm 48 years old, he says, and she asked him to say, "So, how many wives have you got?" And he says, "I've got four." What's the number you're aiming? He says, "I'm aiming at seven." And the
Hmm.
woman asked him to say, "At 47, obviously your testosterone has gone down. Fair. Do you think by the time you reach seven, you'll be able to satisfy the seventh wife?"
Uh-huh. And what did he say?
Like
So,
let's say by
Probably
that time
nothing.
you're like 50
if
something, you're 50 something, and she's like 20 something. Do you
Oh
think
God.
you'll be able to carry out the duty?
he probably said blue pill. That's what he said.
This guy.
Call Morpheus. I'm getting the blue pill. That's what he said. You
The
know what I'm
blue
saying?
chews.
I'm gonna be young again. I'm gonna be young again. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've got a poll for you guys in there. Is modern marriage overrated? I've got one for you there. Um, let's see. We're gonna go through some opinions that I saw online as well. It's not videos, just
Yeah.
statements. and just let me know if you agree or disagree, right?
Yeah.
Here's the first one. Salt and vinegar chips are better than sour cream and chive and barbecue chips. Agree or disagree?
I disagree.
I know, right? I mean, that is definitely an unpopular opinion. Mr.
Yeah.
Drew, salt and
I,
vinegar.
I I I agree though. I like salt and vinegar.
Who likes salt and vinegar?
What the fuck is that?
This
Nobody
monster,
likes
man.
Nobody. That's
I like salt and vinegar.
you're the one who's keeping them in business. You know what I mean?
No,
Guys,
but it's true though. It's not like I don't like the other flavors. I've tried different flavors, but the thing is, like, I do get tired of the different flavors
you're keeping
very
them in
easily.
business.
Like, if I have sour cream, I would like the sour cream at that moment I'm eating it, but then after a while, I'm like, eh. But salt and vinegar, you will never get tired of salt and
Yes, you
vinegar.
will. You will.
Yes, you will. That
You
shit
will, to the point that you never even want to have it again. In fact, I don't even know how you aren't tired from the first bite in your life.
mate, it's vile. It's vile, honestly. But there's a poll for you guys in the chat, man. What do you think? Do you guys agree with Drew that salt and vinegar chips are good? You know what I mean? Because I don't agree. I do not agree. It's terrible.
I mean,
Next,
you guys live in a fish and chips culture. Like, isn't England like a fish and chips culture where you
We
have
used to fish and chips
before they
here.
used to have it in the
exactly. I'm not even a big fan of fish and chips. I
I'm not
mean,
a fan
they
of
used to have
fish.
it in
I
the
don't eat the
newspaper.
fish and chips. Leave me
yeah,
alone.
They used to
nah.
have it in the newspaper back in the days, if I
Dude,
remember.
when I
Let's do it.
first
I
when
went
I
to London.
Let's do
literally
it.
when I first came here, I did that. I like, yo, and the guy,
Yeah.
like, they didn't really do it when I first came, but I asked the guy, hey, I want this experience. So
In
this guy
paper.
ran, got me a
Mm.
newspaper, put it in, and I felt bad because the fish and chips was disgusting.
It was not great. It's not great. It's not the
That
best.
that battered stuff, man.
Nah. And especially around you, mate, you got battered Mars bar and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Who does that? Who does that? It's disgusting. Diabetes on a plate.
This is America?
Right.
I'm sorry. Okay, go on. What was the next
Oh
one?
man.
Coffee
Oh
smells.
man.
Coffee smells 100 times better than it tastes. Yes or no?
I don't even remember what coffee smells like.
Yeah, that's true though.
I think it tastes better than it smells. You know.
You like the taste of coffee?
Yeah. I
Do you
don't
put
mind
anything
I
in
like
it?
the taste of coffee.
I could have
I
coffee
like the taste of
without milk.
Without anything, just
Yeah.
pure
Yeah,
dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm also a black coffee guy. I like black coffee. Just
You also
coffee.
like to introduce struggle into your life. I see no reason. Hey, sorry. If you want to just have a hot chocolate, it's like 30. But you know what? I'm not here to judge. I don't judge.
All right. AM to PM is 100 true. So Gunjan says yes. Coffee smells better. AM and PM is daft. Everyone should just use 24-hour military time. Yes or no?
No, that is true though.
I agree.
That is
Because I
Yeah.
don't. Sometimes
Because
people
I
just say
used to
come
do
at 1
because I don't even
o'clock.
think about
PM or AM. You know what I mean? Couldn't just say come at 1300 or 0100 whatever. You know, it makes it
no.
easier.
It's
Yeah,
true.
it makes
Yeah,
it easier.
yeah.
Adults who are obsessed with Disney are kind of creepy. I think they're kind of weird. Obsessed, yes, kind of weird.
Obsessed.
'Cause
Anyone, actually, to be fair, if anyone is obsessed with anything, it is weird.
with, I mean, yeah, Disney movies, we should say, you know, singing Little Mermaid and doing the thing in public or whatever.
So you saying any obsession is weird? Is that
Any
what you're
obsession can become weird.
Weird, yeah.
For example, it's like, what do you call it? We use the biggest example of football fans. When you've seen what I'm not targeting. I'm just saying, you've seen like what happens if they get upset? Well, I was about to say like the Rashford thing. Like you see what happened to Rashford. He does something, he gets attacked. Can't blame me.
I'm just making sure that this works. You know.
Did you? Okay. No. For example. Okay. So I don't know what it was, but there was a basketball game that happened, and one of the players got traded to another team for a big contract, but he's on the bench. And then some of the like his family was sitting in the front row, courtside, and then like fans sitting behind them started to berate the family and the kids to the point the kids started crying. See what I mean by that sort of thing? That's
football. That doesn't happen. In football,
yeah, they just send death threats and call people racist, and then the newspaper just like, you know.
Okay, online. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
fair point. That's a fair
I
point.
mean, newspapers aren't online. Like the actual metro stuff, like the Sun and all that stuff.
You've
Tabloids
made
still
your
exist.
point, Bushido Brown. You've made your
I
point.
apologize. But yes, it can be.
You've made your
Yes,
point.
yes.
If you're
Obsession.
Yeah.
okay, Bushido Brown, thank you very much.
I apologize. Disney has a dark side.
Some people have got
PC
football
PC
sessions
gamers
on this
gamers are
podcast.
weird. Huh?
Facts. They are. They actually are.
PC gamers are weird. You know what I mean? Y'all come in a huddle in weird costumes and play a game. What the hell's that about? The hell is that about?
I mean, the whole fashion culture when it comes to gamers is a little bit interesting.
It
For
is.
me.
And
It
and
is.
for the women that are flipping that into OnlyFans, trying to look like whatever it is they're trying to anime characters, I find that so strange.
It is strange because it's like a lot of these anime characters are children. So I'm like,
Yes.
my
So
guys.
why are you targeting children? It doesn't make sense. Might as well be the Pied Piper or whatever. You might as well be in the next cell to R. Kelly, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean,
Okay.
most of these animations from back in the days, though, even though they were targeting children, but they were perverted.
they,
as
Yeah,
crazy.
there was some. Yeah, that's
they threw stuff in there.
oh, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Here's the next one. If you're a picky eater, it's your job to figure out where we eat. I agree with this. I totally agree with this because there's especially when you're dating a picky eater. Do you want this? No. Do you want that? No. Then you pick something. Why did you pick it? I think if you're a picky eater, it's on you to pick where people are gonna eat. You know what I'm saying?
You just starve at this point.
Okay. So since you started that now, do you think it's fair if you are invited to a vegetarian dinner, or
Yeah.
someone who's a vegetarian invites you for dinner? Do you think it's fair that they should maybe prepare some meat for you, and then
No.
when you come to their house, because they expect you to
Oh, that's
prepare
actually
a
clever. That's
vegetarian dish?
actually a good one. That's actually a good one. I've
No.
never thought
I'm not.
about that.
Listen, I'm not a picky eater. This is the point. I'm talking about picky eaters, right?
No.
So-
This is a different. This is a difference because this is like a lifestyle thing.
Okay, so if somebody
Right.
is a vegetarian and
If a
Yeah.
they cook what? So do I expect them to make a thingy?
So again,
They invite you to their house, right?
so it depends really because there are like vegetarians who can handle meat and then there are ones that can't.
I'ma
That's the
be-
thing.
I'm
So if
a
you're
bit-
talking about the ones who can't handle meat and they have to do something like to serve it, then you're kind of it's like asking somebody with a peanut allergy to like, hey, can you like make this peas?
That is true though. But I have met some vegetarians who come to a party where they come to a meat eater party and they get like really annoyed or agitated because they
Oh, then
didn't
they
have
shouldn't
the
be there.
dish that's
Just
vegetarian.
They shouldn't
point
be
them
there.
outside like there's grass outside.
They shouldn't be
please.
there. Then they shouldn't be there. But
There's
if I
trees, the leaves, man.
they shouldn't be there. If a vegetarian asks me to eat at their place, I'm expecting a vegetarian meal. I'm not expecting a thing. I'm expecting to eat.
I'm
what they eat.
expecting them to make me a
But-
meat dish. I'll be
Okay.
like, when you come to my party, I go through the trials and tribulations to find you
Drew,
this.
the vegetarian
dish.
will also turn around and point to a dog or a cow or something and say, "There it is, fetch."
Then I'm gonna barbecue that dog, that cat, and Trump is gonna talk about it.
Moving on. There is absolutely no reason why you should have 10 kids. Agreed or nah?
I'm allowing it, man. We know we
Why
have big families. We
No,
can't
but what
complain.
you having a whole football team for? You know what I mean?
One of them has
It
to
depends.
succeed.
It
One of them
depends.
has to succeed in
One
life.
of them has to succeed. No, brother.
It depends. It depends. If you can take care of them, why not?
10 kids.
Why not?
No, I disagree.
If you can take care of them, why not?
Nah, I disagree.
I think that like that can cause so many problems. That can cause so many problems.
Yeah. I'll go one more. I'll go one more here. When people try to interact with wild animals and get killed, the animal should not be euthanized. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They should.
Yes.
The animal shouldn't get euthanized.
Yeah,
That was natural
because-
selection. That was natural selection.
Yeah, that's right. I think Cat Williams said it, man. If your neighbor has some crazy dogs, you ain't going in there. Why are you going in there? You
There was
know.
this Canadian guy who used to a documentary filmmaker who was filming bears.
Mm.
And he lived with them. The whole documentary is based on him making connection with these bears, and he used to live with them, and he filmed himself, having fun with them, wrestling with them. One day, in front of the camera, they just decided no more, no more.
Goldilocks is getting it today.
No, but no, like a lot of these guys. The funny thing is, a lot of these guys who like handle animals actually tell people like you shouldn't. We're trained and we like can come up. It's dangerous for us.
Exactly.
Like there's the same story about the guy who raised the hippo from like a little baby hippo, and then the moment he got older, when he got the chance, killed him, ate
Oh
him,
my
Right,
stuff like
right,
god.
that.
right.
Even if you're
I
able to
thought
It,
I
it,
handle
it,
thought
it,
I thought hippos are herbivores, man. What's why?
hippos are like the most dangerous animals on the planet.
They are
yeah, like
dangerous.
no,
They
like
will
yeah,
kill
they are like
human beings, but
yeah,
what the hell?
they're probably the
Ate
most.
him?
Maybe not ate him. I think bit him was what I meant to
Okay,
say.
okay, fair
Like
enough.
like chewed him up. But yeah,
Yeah,
hippos are like probably the most some of the most dangerous animals in the
they
whole of
are.
like Africa. Yeah. So
I
Really
mean,
are.
I mean, humans. Let me ask this question: though. Humans, why do we think we are the police of this planet?
Because the Bible says so.
that
Because the Bible says so.
the Bible has also said we should do
that's
some horrendous things. So
All right. All right.
yeah.
that's
Even
kind of
Why?
how.
cats. I'm skeptical about cats, so Gunjan's got a cat fear. You want to get Gunjan, just get him a cat.
Like,
And have you
everywhere.
noticed? Have you noticed like today, like people are loving animals more than they loving other humans?
Oh, is it just today?
It's scary.
We're
Oh,
used to it.
yo,
We're
Peter,
used to
man.
it.
It's
The
scary.
WWF, Peter, yo. They hear something, they're gonna be like, "Oh, so you're doing what do you call it? What's this? You've got a dog that's on a leash. That's it. We're coming for you." Literally, they are aggressive. Peter
Wow.
right now is aggressive.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I
That's
mean, I was seeing this girl. I was seeing this girl, right? And she has two cats, a male and a female cat. And I said like, okay, so since they're in the same household, are they siblings? She's like, yeah, I had to make sure that they're siblings because the male is castrated. I was like, what gives you the right to do that though? Like to say like your generation ends with you. You're not going any further. I'm gonna keep you under my roof.
I mean,
I'll
if
make
you
sure
feed,
that you have food,
if you're
and your
feed, if
generation ends here
the question is the
with you.
person, the animal that is forming more generations, is it going to feed these other generations? Maybe that's the logic there. You know,
I mean, they're hunters. They're born hunters. They can be outside in the wild, and whatever happens to them is their own fate.
you
It's
talk
not up to
you talk about
us to police and
dogs,
say
right?
like, I'm gonna chop off your manhood to make sure that you don't give more babies. But I like to keep you as a pet
You
because
are
I like
talking.
to have to cuddle with you at night. It's
These are
like,
dogs you're talking about, right?
yeah, and
Okay.
cats too, and whatever animals. Because these days people keep a lot of animals. Someone that has a hyena in Europe as a pet. Yeah, it's
This is
crazy.
when I
It's
know
crazy.
Wild.
this is when I know Drew's going off the hinges. I know this.
Someone has a hyena. Trust me. Someone has a hyena in their house
Oh,
as a pet.
oh my gosh. Oh my god. I mean, I hope they enjoy with that hyena. Chichewa word of the week, please. I need one from Drew, Mr. Fact Checker.
Ah,
Chichewa word of the week. What
ah.
are we saying?
Fact checker. What's your word for today?
I'm eating. Leave me alone.
Is that? Oh, I
Huh?
love it.
Come on, Mister.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Chill, bro.
Hmm?
Okay, since he's eating, I'll say kutafuna.
Uh,
Yep, that
Kutafuna chewing.
that
Okay.
kutafuna. That's a good one. That's a good
All right,
one.
cool. All right, cool. Seriously, Kutafuna. I
Mm.
thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna come up with one that's relevant to this topic.
Oh yeah, we should actually do something more relevant to the thing.
Let's try that then. Let's try that.
Do we have a
Opinion.
saying? Like
Opinion. Mm-hmm. What's the word for opinion?
Actually, have we used Ulemu? Because we're talking about
no, we haven't. We haven't. Yeah.
I think we should use Ulemu because we're talking about the
Respect.
elders and stuff. Yeah, the respect.
Right.
Okay. All right, we're going with the elders, are we? Cool. So the Jujia word of the week, as said by Mr. Fact Checker, is Ulemu. So your word of the week.
I think there's been an improvement from the fact checker though. Last week he turned back into a 1 minute man, and now he has improved. He's gotten some medication, some proper medication to help him, advance his longevity.
Yo, can you do an outro? I've got lots to do tomorrow. Hurry up with this outro so I can.
All right, man, relax. Jeez, man, you know what I mean? Rah. Sorry for keeping you.
25 rounds for the.
Sorry for keeping you.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
All right, thank you very much, guys, for joining. Have a good weekend. 5 Rounds Podcast. Like the video, make sure you subscribe, and let us know what your unpopular opinions are. Do you know what I mean? Did you like this? If you like this, we'll do more of this. If you didn't, well, we ain't gonna do more of it. Mr. Bushido Brown, thank you, Mr. Drew. See you guys later. We are